Welcome, Pewter Report readers, viewers, and listeners to a brand new edition of the Pewter Report podcast. It's the Pewter Post-Game Show, and a happy Victory Tuesday to everybody as it has officially hit midnight. We are on to Tuesday, December 6th. It's the Pewter Post-Game Show. We're talking about a thrilling, and I mean thrilling, fourth quarter comeback victory by the Bucs, led by Tom Brady, as Rachaad White caught the game-winning touchdown pass with 3 seconds to go. The Bucs were on the ropes. It looked like all hope was lost, but Tom Brady engineers another miraculous comeback, and the Bucs sweep the season series against their bitter rival New Orleans Saints and win 17-16. I'm your host, Matt Matera. Joined with me is my fellow co-host and colleague at pewterreport.com, Scott Reynolds. And Scott, this is about 58 minutes of holy crap, what the heck is this team doing? And then it was like, oh my God, you can never count Tom Brady out. It was really a lot of despair. A thrilling ending, and the Bucs are 6-6 now. Still a lot of flaws, but hey, watching the Bucs is not for the faint of heart.
That's true. Matt, you sound a little hoarse. Did you have some fun tonight calling this game? I think you might have lost your voice a little bit.
A little bit, and I was out of town this weekend in some cold weather, so I think going from cold to warm has messed me up too. But I'm still here. I'm ready to rock and roll. About this Bucs victory.
I can't wait to hear your call on Pewter Game Day tomorrow. I can't wait to go back and listen to the 2 touchdowns that were caught in the last 20 seconds, one by Chris Godwin that was negated by a Donovan Smith penalty. Way too many penalties by that guy this year. He's just not playing good football. And, it was – can you imagine if they lost that game, the absolute crap Donovan Smith would have got? Yeah. Because that was a hell of a throw and catch by Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady tonight, listen, you talk about somebody that just electrified the crowd. I mean, you could hear it through the TV that our Pewter reporters – in attendance, Bailey Adams, Josh Capo, J.C. Allen, they were there in person at the stadium, and you could hear the Brady chants. It was absolutely electric at the end of that game. Big time plays by 2 rookies, by Rachaad White with the game winner and Cade Otton. This guy, man, I criticized Byron Leftwich for not targeting him at all, and obviously Cam Brate didn't play today because of an illness, but man, for Cade Otton, this storybook season continues for the rookie. Both of these touchdowns came in the clutch with rookies doing it, and Tom Brady, the old man, 45, just getting it done. It was amazing to see. Just to let you guys in on like a little bit of like pulling back the curtain, up until about 20 seconds left. Like that was going to be the graphic right there. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
it was fair though.
Fair. Yes. Editorially correct. It was that close, but obviously that looks a lot better. Does it not? Yeah. Sounds better too. Brady. Bucs win. And so here we are, Matt, and yet another storybook, thrilling come from behind victory from Tom Brady. I think this is now 44. I think his 44th comeback, if my memory serves me correctly. It's just stunning. And what it does is it puts the Bucs in the driver's seat now in the NFC South. And it gives them some wiggle room in case they stub their toe at San Francisco next week. And then, of course, they got the Cincinnati Bengals coming to town the week after that. Those are going to be 2 very hard games.
Yeah,
the Buccaneers can actually lose both of those and probably still be in first place. And what it's coming down to is if they beat the Falcons on the road in the season finale and the Panthers at home, if they can take care of business in the division, it seems like they're going to win the division. Now, they can't afford too many losses now. That Arizona game on Christmas night, the Buccaneers are not going to want to be there, right? It's Christmas night. They don't want to spend Christmas Day away from their families and all that, in a hotel room. But that's just what the schedule has for this team this year. So, but right now the Buccaneers are 6-6 and they're staying alive.
And very important for the Bucs, obviously beating a divisional opponent in the Saints, but also that gets them to 3-1 in the division, which is really the big important tiebreaker. And they have a lot ahead of them.
And the Panthers are 3-1, right? You can't count the Panthers out, and they're 3-1 in the division. Both the Saints and the Falcons are 1-3 in the division. So as long as the Buccaneers just stay one game ahead of those two teams, and get maybe one more division win, that's going to cement their place ahead of them. And I think this Carolina game in Tampa a couple weeks from now, that's looming large. That's going to be a big one because the Buccaneers have a chance to knock the Panthers out of the division race in just a couple weeks.
Yeah, who thought we would have been saying that when the Panthers traded Christian McCaffrey? But a frisky team, like their defense is really good and it kind of keeps them in games. But to talk about this game tonight, Monday Night Football looked like it was going to be another disaster on primetime television going up against the Saints. And, shout out to everyone that was watching the Pewter Game Day show because a lot of great comments and everything from the fans. And, they brought up a great point of just it's almost like the same blueprint over and over for this Bucs offense in general, but the team overall, where you start out hot, then you just completely crap the bed for the next, three quarters, and then you're in a frantic scramble comeback mode, and that's when the Bucs do their best. It was almost very reminiscent of the comeback against the Rams a couple of weeks ago, where again, Cade Otton scoring the touchdown. So Tom Brady trusted rookies in crunch time moments, and man, I guess we can kind of work our way back. We'll start with all the fun and then get back into the, the negativity.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. I'm going to let you talk about the offense and pick them apart and praise them and all of that. I'm going to say this. This defense, it's not perfect. It's not pretty. They don't wow you.
Bailed out a little bit. A couple of drops by Saints receivers, but
yes, they did. But there was some big plays that were made. This team still cannot buy a takeaway. They literally can't show up with cash, a wad of cash, a duffel bag full of cash and say, hey, can we have a turnover, please? It's not happening that way. They can't buy one. They can't even charge one on credit. It's that bad. But you know what? This defense, they held the Saints to 16 points. That's winning football. Yes. Keanu Neal with a huge hit. That was a big-time hit. And the sack by Carl Nassib. Holy smokes. You talk about a primetime sack. That was a primetime sack by a primetime player right there. I thought Carl Nassib played really, really well tonight in the trenches against the run, putting some pressure on Andy Dalton. But, man, that sack was big when they needed it. And credit to the defense for getting that ball back to the offense.
Yes, that was the key. The huge play by Carl Nassib. Keanu Neal, I was like, oh, my God, the game's done. 3rd and 17.
Yes.
Taysom Hill at tight end again kills the Bucs. And Keanu Neal, a little friendly fire took out Jamel Dean, but honestly, it was kind of necessary in order to make the play. And then another play that will go unnoticed. One, because he had like a pretty bad game overall. But before the Bucs scored that first touchdown to Cade Otton, Saints had a 3rd and 1. They threw a slant play, and Carlton Davis broke it up. And Carlton did not have a good game by any means.
No,
but
he didn't. He's not had a couple good weeks now, but you're right.
He made the big play there. And Carlton's on the most disappointing list that Josh Capo wrote, and understandably so. But he made the play there, got the Bucs the ball back. That led to the first touchdown by Cade Otton. And then, of course, Nassib. That sack was so important to the field position too. Think about it, because the Bucs got the ball a little bit before the 40-yard line. If Dalton throws that away, sure, you get the extra time out there, but a huge loss on that play. So clutch from Carl Nassib, clutch from Keanu Neal, and let's remember the Bucs didn't have their top 2 safeties in Antoine Winfield Jr. and Mike Edwards, so they needed a big game from him. It was great having Logan Ryan back too, but a huge play there. But man, that last drive, I mean, you want to talk about this is brought Julio Jones in here, to make the big plays in December and show up big.
Right.
Julio didn't do much for most of the game, but that last drive makes the slant catch early on. That catch that he made, first of all, shout out Scotty Miller, that catch on 3rd and 6, took a nasty hit there, but held on to the ball.
He did.
And got that first down. And then Julio Jones, our intern Adam, who was on the game day stream with me, said it best. That was vintage Julio right there, just getting up, snatching it, and bringing it down, and pretty much setting up the Bucs up until the Donovan Smith holding penalty after the fake Chris Godwin touchdown. Just guys stepping up in huge moments. It was such a thrilling ending to this game that got a lot of Bucs fans happy. A lot of Bucs fans, I would say, energized, which of course Celsius is the presenting sponsor.
And I'll let you know real quick. I'm going to own it. I lost $60 tonight. It was the best $60 I've spent all year because if you join me for the pregame show, I admitted I betted $60 on the Saints money line on my bookie. And I lost $60. I would have won 100, but I don't care about the money. I'd much rather have this win for the Buccaneers, for their fans and everything. So $60 down the drain for me. Happy to do it.
That's fine. You can win it back during a bowl season for for college football.
Yeah.
But anyway, of course, Celsius is the presenting sponsor of the Pewter Report podcast. Variety of different flavors. I had the watermelon berry during the show. Of course, they got all the different vibes: Arctic peach and tropical, wild raspberry, cola, cucumber lime as well. So many great flavors. 7 essential vitamins is the key. It's the healthy version of an energy drink. 0 sugar. You don't get that crash that you might get from other products. It just gives you the fuel, the energy to accomplish whatever goal you have in front of you. If you haven't had Celsius yet, and you want to try it out and you want to find out where to get it, go to their website, click on the store locator, put in your address, find out the local, convenience store, Walmart, Target, or bodega, as I like to say. Find out where you can get it. And then once you get it and you love it, start buying it in bulk. I'd recommend the variety pack because variety is the spice of life. And you can go to Amazon, do the subscribe and save, and have it set up where you have Celsius sent to your house or apartment every 1, 2, or 3 weeks, whatever it is. Just make sure you're drinking Celsius energy drinks, the official sponsor of the Pewter Report podcast. So a lot of clutch plays by the Bucs late in the game. Tom Brady magic once again. And let's be real, Scott. Brady did not look good for 3 quarters of that game, but when it mattered most, he made the big throws. He found the open man and got the job done. And we always say jokingly at this point, but you can't rule it. You can never count out Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is Tom Brady looked like he was playing the Saints tonight, right? I mean, that's kind of in the par for the course for him is getting picked off, getting hit, sacked. I thought Josh Wells and Donovan Smith for the most part did a pretty good job in pass protection. I know Donovan had those penalties, costly one at the end there. It could have been, but Josh Wells, I thought actually did a pretty good job on Cam Jordan. Maybe Cam Jordan's, slipping a little bit with his old age. Jordan made a couple good plays, had the forced fumble down the field on Rachaad White, had a nice pass break up the line of scrimmage, but, didn't abuse Josh Wells. And so Wells deserves some credit for a game well played tonight. I thought he was, as Todd Bowles likes to say, he's tough. That's kind of what he says about Josh Wells is, he's a tough guy. And, I expected Cam Jordan to really kind of own that matchup. And I think Wells did a good job of holding his own. And you're right. Tom Brady was not great early on. A couple of misfires. Should have thrown to Mike Evans on this play.
Right.
Missed Julio Jones. It should have been a touchdown either way if it's a better ball from Tom Brady, either to Mike Evans or Julio Jones. There just was some misfires, between Brady and he turned it on when it mattered most. That's the thing with Tom Brady is he was good enough to get this team in position down the stretch to win the game. And that's really all that matters when it comes to Brady. We got a couple of super chats here. Appreciate that one from Leo. One from Teddy here. Man, Zion had me missing SMB. The rookie had a rough night. He did. I think
Teddy, you were spot on. Zion McCollum whiffed more than a middle school kid going up against Randy Johnson in baseball, like in a game of baseball. Like he could not miss more tackles if he tried. And I understand that he's a rookie, but when you see Tariq Woolen of the Seahawks turning into a stud cornerback, and McCollum just, can't hold on to anything. It's a little tough to watch. Obviously, he's thrown into that situation, a tough one, but he's got a lot of work to do as the nickel corner, because they attacked him the same way that the Ravens kept attacking him.
Yeah,
and,
Tony, appreciate your commentary. I'm going to disagree. I think a lot of Light's free agent moves have been misses. I think he's missed in free agency this year. They have not gotten the impact that they wanted, but it's hard to argue with the success Rachaad White, Cade Otton have had. Jury's still out on Logan Hall and Luke Gedeke. Those are the second round picks. We'll see. They still have 3 more years as Buccaneers to develop, and I expect that they will. I do think Jake Camarda didn't have a great night tonight, but I think he's had a really good season so far. So the Buccaneers have had some hits. O'Keefe had a drop tonight, but he also had a catch
for a first down.
Down, he had a touchdown in last week's game against Cleveland. So I think the arrow is pointing up for this draft class, and for the free agent class, though, this has not been stellar at all. It's been more misses than hits for Jason Light for sure.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, Logan Ryan, I guess, is the face of the free agent class. As far as the A+ student. Russell Gage did come back today, didn't really do much. Julio, he's trending in the right direction, though. We obviously already talked about like the big play that he made, and maybe the Bucs were onto something when they decided to sit him out for so long, and now he's healthy. And hey, he got open. Brady didn't get him the ball, but appreciate Marquise Davis, the $5 super chat here. Bucs offense just needs the 2-minute every drive and let Brady call everything. Like, Jesus, man. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, we've been calling for more up tempo for multiple weeks, and it goes back to what we said earlier about it's the same damn blueprint every time. Start out hot, lay an egg for the next 3 quarters, get into frantic panic mode, go no huddle, and miraculously come back and win the game. I don't think it's a great recipe for success. It definitely makes for some entertaining TV. I'm curious what the ratings were at the end of the game here for Monday Night Football. But it does seem the Bucs can only really move the ball successfully when they go up tempo. It's like they have to get to the absolute most desperate places internally and
it has
externally.
To be dark. It has to be dark.
They really have to.
Dark and gloomy.
They're adrenaline junkies. They just love
that's
having,
right.
Like coming from the jaws of defeat to win.
It's
stressful though.
Yeah, I mean there's the game-winning touchdown right there from Rachaad White, and this kid's going to be good. I don't know how good. I don't know if he's going to be great, but so far so good for Rachaad White. And I liked Leonard at times in this game. There were other times where I thought he got tackled too easily for a big guy, got tripped up too easily. And
like shoestring tackles, and I couldn't help but think if Rachaad had the ball there, he's already another yard up the field or to the side and not getting caught.
I was thinking the same thing. I did see here there was a comment that I thought was really good because we're getting a lot of fans, that are kind of ripping on Zion McCollum here, and I don't see because we're getting a ton of comments.
Yeah, appreciate everyone with the comments and everything.
Yeah, look at this. We're getting hundreds of people in here celebrating this win tonight, which is awesome. And we are going to have a podcast tomorrow, so we will have a Victory Tuesday podcast. So there will be a podcast this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and we will do roll call at 4:20 on Tuesday because y'all got robbed today because we didn't do an afternoon podcast because there was the game. So we are going to do a roll call at 4:20 tomorrow. So join us tomorrow, or maybe it's today, right?
Technically
Tuesday.
Today. Yeah.
Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. How about that? So that's what we'll say. But you're right, Matt, to your point about the offense, it's kind of stunning because when you look at the third down conversions into first downs, they did far better than I kind of expected because it seemed like they struggled to stay on the field. But in reality, they were over 50% on third down conversions. Matter of fact, they were 8 of 15. That's 53.3%. Tampa Bay's defense did a good job on third downs, as they usually do. Saints just 5 of 14, which is 35.7%. So the Bucs, it's like they did a good job converting third downs.
Yeah.
But they got nothing to show for those drives, right? They had like 3 points to show for all of those third downs they converted prior to the last couple of drives. And then really they weren't in a lot of third downs. They were in first down, second down, first down because they were taking some
They did
shot play.
improve a lot more there, not waiting till third down. And finally, like Chris Godwin obviously was another big factor in this game. Brady was getting the ball to him a lot. Godwin had a lot of those, first downs on second down, which I thought was really important. And they also avoided going 3 and out, which was, what crushed them last week against the Browns. They actually, again, they had 3 points for a majority of the game until late, in that game. But at least they were able to, I don't even want to say sustain drives, but have longer lasting drives, even though they weren't scoring points. I mean, even though they didn't go 3 and out, they still just had a look of exhaustion on their face when like things weren't going their way. So not everything's fixed yet. Shout out Wade here. Wade says, do y'all think this offense can be dangerous in January?
No, I do not.
No, I don't. That's
folks. If we're being honest, I mean, I do not want to rain on this parade. I'm super thrilled for y'all that the Buccaneers won. I think it was a fantastic win for Tom Brady. I mean, this is just classic Brady. It was one of the greatest wins we've seen in terms of thrilling entertainment value, not style points, just enough points to win 17-16. But here's the thing. This offense is not going to get fixed. I don't see them scoring more than 24, 27 points in a game down the stretch here unless there's a defensive score involved. I just don't, because I haven't seen it. And keep in mind, it's taken now a touchdown catch from Cade Otton with 9 seconds left to beat a 3-win Rams team.
Yeah.
It's taken a touchdown pass from Rachaad White with 3 seconds left to beat a 4-win Saints team. So while these wins do count, they count for something. They're coming against really bad teams. The Saints are bad. The Rams are bad. And so it's better to lose, or I should say it's better to beat a bad team than to lose a bad team to a bad team. But it's just like, let's keep it in perspective. So do I think they can make the playoffs? Yes. I think someone has to win this crappy division, and it just might as well be the Buccaneers. They're playing hot potato, right? They're playing musical chairs, and damn it, the Buccaneers just might be in the chair when it's all said and done at the very end, because no one else wants this division. Nobody else wants to win this thing. They just don't. It's just like, here, you take it. No, you take it.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But Matt, I don't see this offense turning it on, turning the corner, nothing. Do you?
It's like, listen, if they're playing the Cowboys in January, they're not coming back from down 13 points in the fourth quarter. Correct. They're not getting into a shootout with the Eagles, later in the season. Yeah. I think you hit it on the head. The teams that they beat are not good teams, and you're seeing why. Thank you for the super chat here.
Yeah, appreciate that, guys.
For you. Donovan Smith is our new Kenyatta Walker. It was tough, Donovan. It's been tough for Donovan the past couple of weeks. And we thought he turned a corner. I'm curious how much that elbow hurts, but it's not an excuse at this point. He's just
it's bad.
They need him to step up.
It's like on that play.
He needs to be the guy.
Yeah, he had bad feet. He got in trouble. Then he held, on that last hold that negated the Chris Godwin touchdown, which was a phenomenal catch. I mean, it was just an amazing throw and catch.
That was like prime Chris Godwin, touchdown over the middle, a couple of yards out. Had Bucs celebrating.
Yeah.
But then they got to celebrate with their Rachaad White touchdown. Reggie here. Quick question. Do y'all think next year trade Evans and Godwin for picks and start the building process, or draft a rookie quarterback and have him with a fresh slate with the receivers? It's a fair question. We were actually talking about this a little bit on the game day stream when we thought everything was done for the Bucs and they weren't going to come back. I was almost saying that they should tank next season with Kyle Trask and then get rid of the coaching staff and go get Caleb Williams from USC. Obviously, that's a ways down the road, but that would be my plan. But as far as Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, well, they just signed Chris Godwin to a new contract. So
I'm not a fan of trading your best players, and I don't think the Blazers would trade Mike Evans. Now, I didn't say Todd Bowles, and I didn't say Jason Light. I said the Blazers. There are just a couple of players that are just hands off. Ownership will step in and say no, like he's retiring a Buccaneer. Mike Evans is one of those. Lavonte Davis another, and that's just the way it's going to be. And speaking of those two players, let's go to the stat sheet and just see how the Buccaneers fared, statistically speaking. Chris Godwin led this team with 8 catches for 63 yards. Very kind of pedestrian night, 7.9 yard average. A lot of short stuff, a lot of short games with Tom Brady.
These freaking screens. They're not that successful. They run it over and over and over and over. You wonder why teams are calling out plays.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a screen. This play is coming because they keep running the same play. And every time they tried to do a screen to the running back, there was a defensive lineman 10 yards in the backfield, seeing it coming from a mile away, or the offensive line just couldn't block it in the first place. Enough with the screens. Because it's not just one screen per game. It's 2 screens per drive. How about that first drive, the first and goal, or the when they kicked the field goal on the first drive of the game? Not one ball was thrown to the end zone once they got into first and goal. It was a stupid screenplay and then a third down stupid screenplay. I'm done with the screens.
I'm with you. And I think that Todd Bowles probably needs to go in there tomorrow and let the players know that it's not illegal to throw into the end zone. I know that's a rumor. That's a myth that's floating out there in Tampa Bay, that the league has made it illegal to throw in the end zone. Other teams are doing it. Yeah. So it's actually not illegal. Tom Brady is allowed to throw into the end zone. Byron Leftwich is actually allowed to call plays that would allow him to throw into the end zone. For example, that Chris Godwin touchdown at the end that was negated. That was an end zone throw.
Yes.
And so that was not illegal. That was
right.
eligible.
It was illegal for Donovan Smith to hold the player.
That was the illegal thing. Yes. Correct, Matt. Yes, absolutely.
And if you're 21 years or older, it is legal for you to have a Pirate Republic beer, of course, the official beer of PewterReport.com. They are based out of the Nassau, Bahamas, and invading Florida for football season and the holiday season, because we are in December. Beer brings people together to celebrate life. That's celebrating life in the spirit of the original pirate code, which, of course, is a sense of belonging. Pirate Republic is a community of people living life on their terms. The Long John Pilsner is perfect for tailgating. You see it in the red right there, Christmas color red, or perfect for tailgating or having fun at the beach in the Florida sun. The Take No Quarter IPA, another Christmas color in green, is the best IPA around that you will drink. And you could also drop an orange slice in the Golden Haze of Piracy Belgian wit beer that's in the gold can right there and enjoy that pirate life. Pirate Republic beer is available at participating retailers like Total Wine and More, Lucan's Liquors, Party Liquors, and ABC liquor stores in the greater Tampa Bay area. That's where I get my Pirate Republic. And they are expanding across the state of Florida. I like hearing that. Live life on your terms and drink like a pirate with Pirate Republic beer. Definitely, I know it's a Monday night, but a celebratory beer for the way that the Bucs won.
No doubt.
Many should be having.
I've already had one myself. This is fantastic beer, folks. If listen, I know beer lovers, you stick to your own brand. We're not going to name them, but if you're a particular beer drinker, that's fine. I'm not asking you to switch your allegiances. I'm asking you to try Pirate Republic because it's damn good beer. We're not going to steer you wrong. We're not going to have you, drink a bad beer. But Pirate Republic beer is phenomenal. I love all three. I'm not an IPA drinker, but the IPA has really grown on me. The Take No Quarter, but you can't go wrong with the Pilsner or the Belgian Wit. I think the Belgian Wit beer, the Golden Haze of Piracy, is my current favorite right now.
Great. There you go. Yeah, make sure you check it out. You can get it in Ybor City too.
Yep.
Greg here. Greg, by the way, happy birthday, man.
Birthday,
I know it's officially over. I meant to tweet
right.
at you before. I personally apologize for not tweeting at you, but hope you enjoyed your birthday. Obviously, you were at the game. You saw the Bucs win in a thrilling comeback. So happy birthday, Greg. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you're liking your trip to Tampa right now. He says Bowles still a head coach who inspires little confidence. He was bailed out by Brady. I will say I despise the decision that Todd Bowles made when it was the Bucs' first possession of the fourth quarter and they were over midfield. And I get it was a 4th and 7, but you were in that no man's land of you can't kick it, and you're like pretty close.
I would have gone for it there.
I absolutely would have gone for it. You're down 2 scores. If you were down 1 score, sure, I get it. Trust your defense, and he's a defensive coach. He's going to trust his guys. Well, then the Saints went all the way down the field, took a ton of time off the clock, and kicked the field goal. Luckily, the defense held them to a field goal, and then all the heroics and theatrics happened. But that was still the wrong call. It was a scared move. I said that, this team doesn't have guts. They proved me wrong. They do have guts making that comeback. The coaches, though, not gutsy at all whatsoever.
You're right. And it's one of those things where if they come back and win, then it was the right call, right? And if they don't, then, they're going to get crucified for it again. And this is Todd Bowles' team. He gets to call the shots. It didn't work for him last week in Cleveland for sure. It did turn out today, but yes, I would agree that Tom Brady's bailing out a lot of people right now. Todd Bowles is one of them. Byron Leftwich is another. But yes, and he's bailing out the Buccaneers. Tom Brady bailed out the Buccaneers tonight because this could have gotten ugly. This little stretch here. You can't afford to lose 3 games in a row. You can't afford to lose the Saints, the 49ers, and the Bengals. And I'm not necessarily saying that they're going to lose to the 49ers and the Bengals. I wouldn't be surprised if they split one of those games. This Bucs defense is playing well. They're not playing great, but at the end of the day, it's about points. And you go back and you look, and it took 23 points. I mean, they held the Browns to 17 points in regulation. They got 16 points in this game here against against the Saints. They held the Saints earlier this year to 10 points. They've done a good job with their scoring defense, and that's the key. Todd Bowles doesn't care about yards.
Right.
He cares about third down conversions. He cares about scoring defense, limiting point totals. And you go back and look, these are the points that the Bucs defense has given up. Dallas, 3 points. New Orleans, 10. Green Bay, 14. Kansas City, that was, you put an asterisk by that one. That was the hurricane week, and that's Patrick Mahomes. And Travis Kelce won some revenge, and they got it, 41 points. That's the most points Tampa Bay's given up all year. Then 15 points to the Falcons, and then 20 points to the Steelers, 21 points to the Carolina Panthers, 27 points to the Ravens. That was a bad game. That was a bad game by the defense. I'll be happy to admit that. 13 points to the Rams, 16 points to the Seahawks, and then 23 points to the Browns, and then 16 points today. You add it all up, and you're looking at around 18 points per game. That's winning football in this day and age. It's winning football.
That's absolutely winning football. I think the next 2 weeks are going to be very telling next week for the Bucs offense, because say what you will about the 49ers, Jimmy G now out for the year, but that 49ers defense is still really tough to deal with. And then the following week, it's going to be very telling of the Bucs defense going up against Joe Burrow and that high-flying Bengals offense. So huge test the next 2 weeks.
All right, Teddy.
Thank you so much for this $10 super.
Go ahead and read it, Matt. I'm going to answer it. Go ahead and read it.
Teddy says, beyond Leftwich getting fired, it's frustrating that no other moves have been made to address this offense, not even hiring an offensive consultant or something 3 weeks ago. Am I being unrealistic?
All right. I'm going to answer this question in cliffhanger fashion. You got to tune into tomorrow's podcast at 4:00. I know the answer to this question. So I'm going to tell you why Byron Leftwich still has a job and what's happening behind the scenes at One Buck Place between Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich. Tomorrow, 4 p.m., right here on the Pewter Report podcast. So I'm going to lay out my premise that is backed by some insight and give you guys some clues as to what's been happening and why haven't the Buccaneers made any coaching changes during this season. I've called for them, but my name's not Jason Light or Todd Bowles, so I don't run things over there at One Buccaneer Place, nor do I. I don't want Buccaneer fans with pitchforks and torches coming to my house after losses. So I only advise. I don't make decisions. So, but we will get to the bottom of that. I've got what I believe is the answer. I'm gonna share that to you tomorrow.
That's
at 4:00 at the Pewter
That's a great cliffhanger right there. We're going to let everyone marinate on that just a little bit more as we hear from our friends at the Seminole Hard Rock and Casino in Tampa.
Just the way you like it.
Me and my wife decided we'll have some fun. I was playing a 2-cent machine. 6 bets in, I hit a jackpot. $117,000.
Hi, my name is Tara, and I won over $500,000 playing slot. I do this full time, and I would not change it for the world.
I'm Gloria. I won over $2 million at Seminole Hard Rock Casino. I went and bought a bunch of jewelry.
My name is Mike, and I won over $350,000. I love playing baccarat because it hits different. When you pull in that card and you flip over that 9, beating that 8, can't miss.
I'm Jimmy. I won $500,000 in a slot tournament at Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa. Even a blind squirrel can get a nut sometimes.
My name is Philip, and I won $215,000 on Blazing Sevens.
Put my last $40 on the table. Next thing you know, bam, $215,000 jackpot. I hit that bad boy.
I didn't realize how much it would change my life.
You only live once. Have fun with it, right?
Anybody can win at Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa.
Know when you can win big at the Seminole Hard Rock Casino in Tampa. I'll actually be there next weekend on Saturday. So if you happen to be there, come and find me. Say what up.
Rick Roll with a good comment here. Anyone else see Wirfs hug and lift Brady up after the game? Yes, that was pretty cool to see. Tristan Wirfs was super excited. A lot of people, myself included, not expecting the Buccaneers to win without him tonight, and yet they did, thanks to some guy named
Tom.
Let's see what else we have. Some other good stuff here too. Mr. Singh here. Wow, I watched the game in person. That what an experience. This was one of those games where, listen, Buccaneer fans, some of you have a propensity to leave early.
This one I kind of would have understood,
Yeah, but still, like I've always had a problem with that. Nate Pitts, can't wait to see the post Super Bowl Tampa Bay chapter of Man in the Arena. Me too. I can't wait for there to be a Man in the Arena 2022 season. I want to see what Tom has to say about that, or what he doesn't say. But listen, yeah, Buccaneer fans, love you guys, but I don't understand the logic. Now, I have not sat in the stands for years and years and years and years and years and years. But like when I was in Kansas City growing up and going to Chiefs games, win or lose, I would stay to the very end. Why? Because it's not cheap going to a game.
Right.
And you're going to sit in traffic regardless. I mean, you just are.
Yeah, you don't get that much of a head start.
You don't. You really don't. And so unless you pull like the Griswolds, right, where like you park way at the back at Wally World, first in, first out. But I don't know, state of the whole thing. There have been a handful of games where Buccaneer fans have left, and then the teams come back and won. And you look around the stadium and like it was full. Now it's about 70, 60% capacity. And there's people that paid like full price, like good art money, to leave a game.
Do you think
I don't get
it. Do you think there's a fan or fans this season that were at both the whole games in the Rams and tonight, and both times were like, screw it, this game's done, like I'm leaving, and missed both comebacks late in the game?
Probably,
kind of hilarious.
Yes.
I would, I mean, I would like to. I don't think I'd want to interview that person, but I just want to be like, damn, dude, that sucks.
Yeah,
girl.
Listen, Tampa traffic is a bitch. It is. We were at the walk-ons in Midtown, okay, which is literally like a mile and a half from the stadium. And our reporters, Josh Capo and Bailey Adams, were late to the game that's a mile and a half away. And they were stuck in about 35 minutes worth of traffic just to go a mile and a half. I was late leaving the walk-ons, driving back to my house in Wesley Chapel for the game. And that usually takes me 30 minutes. It took me 55 minutes tonight, just getting out of the South Tampa traffic to get up there. So I understand, but you know what? Wouldn't you rather have been in traffic, high-fiving your kids and saying, wow, it was so awesome. We actually got to see a Tom Brady comeback. We actually got to see Rachaad White's first career touchdown catch, right? And instead, you got in your car, you're still stuck in traffic, and then you're feeling like a chump because you didn't get to see the touchdown. You didn't get to see the comeback.
The only positive is you get to hear Gene Deckerhoff on the radio. But
okay, still.
No, I hear you. I'm not I'm not defending that. I would much rather be there too. Yeah, I always stay till the end as well because one, you never know, and two, I don't know, crazy stuff happens at stadiums usually. Pretty wild.
That's true.
Stuff.
Hopster BB is true. Sorry, folks, the park's closed. There was nobody at Wally World. Well, listen. What else are we going to talk about tonight? Because we're going to have a show tomorrow, but a couple other points that I'd like to make. Lavonte David, right? We got to throw some praise to Lavonte because he was one of the
tonight.
Fantastic. He was one of the players that I said really had to kind of step up.
Yes, turn back time.
Yeah, you heard me do my little Cher impersonation, which wasn't that great. But yes, we saw a big time sack for Lavonte David, and we're still waiting for a Lavonte David takeaway. It's stunning that we're into week 13 and still no Lavonte David forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, or interceptions on the season. That's just an anomaly. That's a nasty freak of nature. Not happening in the Buccaneers' favor. But here's what did happen. Lavonte David was a force of nature. 12 tackles tonight to lead the team, 10 solo, plus the big sack. He did have 2 tackles for loss, as well as a quarterback hit. So he was certainly the best player on the field defensively for the Buccaneers. Will Golston, 6 tackles for the Bucs. Thought he was really stout up front. Keanu Neal, 5 tackles, plus the big pass breakup.
Yes.
Bucs only had 4 pass breakups. That was a big one. The big shot on Taysom Hill, that was huge. Logan Ryan comes back and gets 5 tackles. Devin White with 5 tackles. I thought that he was kind of invisible tonight.
Zion McCollum just there. I don't really have crazy complaints about Devin, but obviously no, splash plays, which is what we're always looking for.
Correct. Yes. Let's see here. Going down the list here. So Devin White had 5. Zion McCollum had 5 tackles, missed 27 tackles. Is that right? No, sorry. 27 is the number, his number on the jersey, but he missed a lot of tackles. I'm going to say he missed 5 tackles. I think he made 5 and he missed 5, which is not a good ratio. You don't want Jamel Dean, I thought, had a very off night, probably his worst game of the year.
Yeah.
Allowed some big catches.
On the deep ball early. Yeah.
Yep. Carlton Davis didn't have a great night either. Carl Nassib, only 2 tackles, which is surprising because I thought Carl was everywhere at the line of scrimmage. Played great tonight. I thought he played better than Anthony Nelson. And to be honest, Anthony Nelson had 2 tackles. Anthony Nelson has not done anything for a while. I know he had the fumble recovery over there in Germany, but I'm starting Carl Nassib opposite Joe Shoyinka now. That's what I'm doing.
And I want to see. I'm not anti JTS, but I don't know. I'm still waiting for him to really show up and do something. I think the Bucs a lot tonight with the pass rush, unless they were sending Lavonte or bringing a pass rush right up the middle.
Yeah.
This front 4. I know Vita leads the team in sacks, but the front 4 the last 2 weeks they've
not been getting there when it comes
to White or Lavonte David have not been getting to the quarterback. And there was a couple times either Andy Dalton had all day to throw or it was a second too late and Dalton was able to complete a pass because the pass rush didn't get home. So definitely needs to change by next week for sure.
Listen,
also, I mean, the whole Mike Evans saga too, I think played out a lot if we want to transition the offense. But
we'll get that in 1 second. One last thing here on McCollum. I'm not saying he's going to become the second coming of Rondé Barber or anything close, but I'm just saying Zion McCollum is taking his lumps. I've seen plenty of Buccaneer corners take their lumps, and Todd Bowles had a good point. He was playing in the slot tonight. That's a new position for him. He typically plays on the outside as an outside corner. That's where he played most of his snaps at Sam Houston. It's a big leap from Sam Houston to the NFL, and he's missing a lot of tackles because he's used to tackling players that aren't as big and aren't as fast as some of the guys that he's facing now. But I'm not going to throw in the towel on Zion McCollum. He's got too much physical talent, and I think as long as he's coached well, I think he's a smart kid. But right now, he looks like the second coming of Sean Murphy-Bunting. I know that scares some people, but But the reality of it is the book is not yet written on this guy. So Rondé Barber was absolutely awful as a rookie in 1997. And Rondé Barber was not Rondé Barber, Matt, till 1999.
That's right.
So it took him 2 years to finally be like, oh, Rondé Barber's actually pretty good. So it took him 2 years. So give this kid some time. He's not going to be thrust into the role of starting. Keep in mind, when Antoine Winfield Jr. comes back, he'll be the nickel corner. Zion would be relegated back to special teams, and he'll get some spot duty on defense. And I think he'll be a better player next year. Not going to give up on this kid just yet.
Yeah, you can't give up on him this early in his career. A couple more super chats from Teddy. Thanks, Teddy. Leaving a game early to make a statement is, do you know who my father is type of energy. And he had another one. Imagine this defense with a disruptive pass rusher. Yeah, I think they really need to get more help on the edge, whether that's starting Carl Nassib full time or JTS picks it up, but they're not getting enough there from their edge rushers, and that definitely needs to be upgraded. Hey, before we get out of here, let's hear a message from our pals over at Age Rejuvenation.
As we age, our hormones decrease, both for men and women.
I was tired all the time, had no sex drive.
I was groggy.
I felt like I was 80 years old because everything hurt.
I came to Age Rejuvenation because I was tired all the time.
Bioidentical hormones has really made such an impact in people's lives.
I actually enjoy shopping now.
Got all my energy back.
Mind is sharp.
I feel like I'm 18 again.
It was perfect for me.
Get with Age Rejuvenation. Do it now. Don't wait.
Call Age Rejuvenation today.
Matt, thank God I am going to Age Rejuvenation because these Buccaneers are literally aging me. I mean, if I was not the pitchman for Age Rejuvenation, I'd be like, I'm Scott Reynolds and I'm 50 and I feel like I'm 55. This season has just aged me 5 years watching this bad, awful Buccaneer football, especially in offense. It's aged me. But thanks to Age Rejuvenation, it's reversed it. No, I don't feel like I'm 50. I actually feel like I'm 40. And that's the God's honest truth because of the testosterone therapy. Turns out I've got low testosterone. Surprise, surprise. Like most men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, it's natural. Your body just does not produce as much testosterone. It decreases with age. And there's not much you can do about it unless you get the testosterone therapy from Age Rejuvenation. It's fantastic. It has made me sleep better at night. It has helped me with mental fog. It's helped me with just the energy needed to power through the day. I was needing 2 Celsius a day, Matt, and you know that to be true. Mm-hmm. I literally had to have 2 Celsius a day just to function. 1 in the morning around 6 to 7, and then 1 after 2 or 3 o'clock before the other podcast. That was like, my secret to staying awake. And then I was still going to bed like 8:30 at night, 9 o'clock. It was ridiculous. I don't have to do that anymore. Now I drink Celsius because I want to, not because I need to. I do like the caffeine and the energy boost, but primarily it's the testosterone therapy. Make sure you go to Age Rejuvenation, sign up for a free consultation. There's 5 Tampa Bay area locations to serve you. Age Rejuvenation. If you're my age or a little bit younger, a little bit older, don't wait. Don't be like me. I waited too long. Treat yourself. Give yourself the best gift, which is the gift of feeling great. Go to agerejuvenation.com.
Please do. Please check it out. We could talk about Mike Evans, but I think we should save that for tomorrow's show because we already made it the greatest podcast of all time.
This was.
And it's also, it's almost 1 a.m. And we're going to try to top it tomorrow. We're going to have a special Tuesday podcast, which we don't typically do, but when the Bucs play on Monday, we will do that. So that's going to wrap up today's show.
And let's see, Todd Bowles is speaking tomorrow at what time? 8:45 a.m.
Yeah.
Wow. Via Zoom. Okay.
Early.
All right. Super early for Todd.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Zoom too. Very interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
They didn't have to travel. They're in Tampa.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another discussion for another day.
Right.
So, for Scott Reynolds, I'm Matt Matera saying thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. for another edition of the Pewter Report podcast. The Bucs won. Holy crap.
Out.